Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brush fire concerns only growing tonight as firefighters work to put out fires here in our state. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A brush fire started in Andover this morning near Nathan Hale State Forest. Out-of-state crews are on scene tonight, stopping the spread. Fox
61's Kayla Cade has reaction from neighbors impacted by the flames tonight.
Andover Fire Chief tells me the fire was burning in the woods on private property adjacent to the forest. And with all the brush fires happening in our area, it's making some residents worry.
It was a concern to me both personally and as the town administrator.
Eric Anderson lives right across the street from where a brush fire burned 26 acres of land in Andover Monday.
The fire department was alerted about 5 o'clock in the morning to a potential fire. Somewhere between Wheeling Road and Bear Swamp Road.
When Andover volunteer firefighters arrived, Chief Ron Mike says they found a large area burning in the woods. Firefighters from Bolton, Columbia, and Coventry came with their brush equipment and tanker trucks to help.
We were able to gain access to a private residence that's closer to the fire than the actual road access. That was able to be able to get to the fire a lot quicker.
DEEP was called in for their resources as well.
They did some prescribed burning to burn off some of the fuels in the other areas adjacent to where the fire was.
The fire chief says since it was open hardwood terrain, it wasn't a lot of low undergrowth to the ground, and the weather allowed them to get their job done.
And the fire was burning pretty slow due to the fact that we had no winds this morning, which allowed us to get a quick knockdown on the fire. We were able to get the main body of the fire under control within 45 minutes or so.
Anderson says they had other small fires around their town.
Either somebody throwing a cigarette out the window or something like that have been contained pretty quickly. We did respond to an incident on Veterans Day where somebody had set a brush and leaf pile in their backyard on fire that caused an awful lot of smoke.
But there are some consequences to burning at this time, considering there's an extreme fire risk.
Theoretically, the penalties are up to 6 months in jail and a $200 fine.
Anderson hopes that with the expected rain in Thursday's forecast, the fire danger will go down substantially.
But it would take a fair amount of rain because we are in a level 2 drought in this area.
Anderson says the fire will be investigated by DEEP. In Andover, Kayla Cade, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Turning to the weather now, and we are in desperate need of some rain with these ongoing brush fires.
It is just so dry out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast and if we have rain in store for the week. Rachel.
We finally do during the day on Thursday. So the next couple of days will be dry, so more of what we've become accustomed to. On Thursday, not just a couple hit or miss showers, but we will get a widespread soaking rain. And while it won't eliminate the deficit, I think it will at least help the brush fire risk. And it's from this disturbance here moving through the middle of the country. And once it moves through, it will kind of stall over the area, which is why while it rains all day on Thursday, I think we'll see lingering scattered showers into Friday as well, which is great news. We will take all of the rain that we can get. It's still a little breezy in parts of the state. We have gusts up to 15 to 25 miles an hour, but the winds are on the process of diminishing, and the next couple of days won't be as windy, which is good. Again, we'll take all the help we can get with the ongoing brush fire risk. Temperatures are mild out there. Right now, we're seeing upper 40s for Windham, low 50s in the Hartford area, and low temperatures tonight are headed into the upper 30s to low 40s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, which is, again, above average for this time of year. We'll see lots of sunshine out there as you're heading out the door. It is another warm afternoon, at least by November standards. We're looking at highs up around 60 degrees, and we're dry right through tomorrow night with increasing clouds. We'll see very similar conditions on Wednesday before those showers return. We'll talk more about timing and how much falls coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, or PURA, has made the decision to deny a proposed rate increase for your gas bill.
Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot explains what this means for your bill as we head into the colder months.
More than 1/3 of Connecticut's households use natural gas as their primary fuel for home heating. But after Monday's decision by PURA, those households can expect a cheaper bill going forward. Some relief for homeowners who use natural gas in Connecticut. Monday, the state's Public Utility Regulatory Authority voted 2-1 to reject a rate increase for Connecticut natural gas and Southern Connecticut gas. This decision will decrease the revenue by $24 million for Connecticut natural gas and lowers customers' bills by approximately $7 to $8 per month. For Southern Connecticut Gas, this move decreases revenue by $11 million and lowers customers' bills by $3 to $4 a month. Attorney General William Tong said this is finally a bit of good news for Connecticut families. Homeowners are echoing that.
I think that's a wonderful thing. We've been paying too much for too long, so that's great. I wish the electric rates would go down as well.
We love anything that's savings. I mean, really, right now, if you go anywhere, it seems like prices are so high. So any decrease in price, I mean, that'll be amazing.
Shannon Lawn, Vice President of Conservation Law Foundation Connecticut, said this is a good thing for our climate going forward.
It is a step forward that the companies will be required to explain what they're doing to be consistent with state climate law. But that's really only a starting point. If we look to other states like Massachusetts and Rhode Island, California, other states around the country, they're really looking proactively to how we reduce our reliance on gas use consistent with state climate laws. And there's a need for a more comprehensive plan for how we transition away from polluting gas and towards clean electric heating.
This decision will protect consumers from excessive rates and ensure CNG and SNG are providing safe and reliable natural gas services. In New Britain, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kay, thank you. United Illuminating filed its newest standard service rates to take effect in January. According to UI's latest proposal, the utility is looking to increase its standard service rates slightly for customers. If approved, it would mean an average bill increase of more than $13 a month. According to United Illuminating's president and CEO, these rates are actually down 20% compared to last year. However, Attorney General William Tong says Connecticut families need real relief from what he calls unsustainable costs.
It's a story you'll only see here on Fox 61. The family of a man found dead in Pope Park in Hartford revisited that location with Fox 61's Matt Caron. They went to the spot where his body was discovered 1 year ago today.
And the family wants to bring attention to what they say is a crisis of addiction, suicide, and homelessness. Matt is in Pope Park to introduce us to the family who is still seeking answers.
Well, Pope Park is a popular and beautiful place to visit. A pool, a playground, colorful leaves in the fall. But look a little closer and it's also home to some of Hartford's challenges, including an increasing homeless population and a tent city that sometimes harbors secrets.
He's unforgettable.
Today is the day that they found his body.
Yes.
Right? 1 year ago today, Victoria Emmons was told her brother Matthew's body,
"Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened,"
was found dead inside a makeshift tent here at Pope Park in Hartford.
Every day I have to carry that and think about how my brother was found dead in a tent. Never in my life did I ever think that would be the outcome.
The police report details how Matthew, who is 27, died of an accidental overdose and acute fentanyl and cocaine intoxication. His tent in Pope Park littered with drug paraphernalia. Seeking more answers,
I don't know how he ended up here.
Victoria hired a private investigator. Now armed with new evidence, police have reopened the case.
I'm not saying that my brother was murdered, but certain things could have been handled better.
A Freedom of Information Act request revealed that over several years, nearly a dozen bodies have been discovered inside Pope Park.
I think that's the most concerning thing for me, is that there were 6 bodies found here at this park within the last year.
Including Hartford's recent November 9th murder of a 17-year-old. His body found wrapped in a comforter in nearby Pope Park West.
I know how that feels to have your loved one gone in an instant.
And though 27-year-old Matthew Emmons may be gone, his sister Victoria is committed to making sure he's not forgotten, and that the unanswered questions that still surround his death are put to rest.
I don't want my brother to die in vain. We have such a crisis with mental health and addiction.
According to a new report, Connecticut is dealing with a 13% rise in homelessness statewide over the last year. And while drug overdose deaths are down thanks to more widespread use of Narcan, opioid use is higher than ever.
Overdoses are up, shootings are down, which is good, and people getting involved, which is great. But I think the most important factor here is that finally City Hall is getting involved.
If there is a silver lining, it's that violent crime in the capital city is down by a lot, more than 50% from this same time last year. It's a success story we'll be exploring in the days ahead. Reporting in Hartford, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A New London police officer is on paid administrative leave tonight. He's facing domestic violence charges. Julio Gil Martinez faced a judge today. Behind the scenes, though, the New London Police Department's conducting an internal review. Court documents show a physical altercation between him and his girlfriend on November 14th. In the papers, the woman told officers at one point she feared for her life. She also told detectives Gil Martinez was hurting himself trying to blame her, stating he was worried about his career. The incident reportedly happened at his apartment. Well, tonight his neighbors are reacting to the arrest.
Maybe they should go more in the background when they hire these officers, because we wouldn't really want someone protecting our streets and our kids when they're, in their own relationships not really having the best.
Gil Martinez is out on a $75,000 bond, and he's due back in court in January. And an important message here: if you or a loved one is in a domestic violence situation, there is help. We've shared some resources right there on your screen, including the CT Safe Connect hotline, the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You can also chat with someone live at thehotline.org. These resources are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
A Connecticut mom accused of killing her 15-year-old daughter and hurting her son has been found not guilty, but that doesn't mean it's over. Today, judges ruled Naomi Bell not guilty due to mental disease or defect. Bell was accused of murdering her daughter and attempting to murder her son, who was 7 years old at the time. Police say she shot her two children at their home in Plymouth in November of 2020. Bell will undergo an evaluation and is due back in court in January.